So the President of the United States, obviously very direct. He's disappointed that the ceasefire was breached. And it was, as far as I could tell, the ceasefire was breached by the Iranians. And what the Israel did was within their rights. They had 12 hours before it ended. They got some targets to finish up. So I think the president said in the spirit of ceasefire, he could have leveled off a little. But it doesn't seem like Israel actually violated the ceasefire. But Iran, they did. The IDF now will strike back, according to the defense minister, Israel Katz.
Well, I think what you're saying from this president is he likes being in the middle with conflicts. He likes to be the negotiator there. I think when it came down to the Iran situation, he was very clear they couldn't have a nuclear weapon. But I think his point is, when I said ceasefire, don't wait up all the way into the moment till the clock runs out. He didn't like seeing that as well. He's clearly frustrated this morning. You know, he doesn't like the coverage. He feels like that they're not celebrating our great military and the successful mission that they had from the other networks, and I think he's right on that.
Well, I mean, it reminds me of Marco Rubio over the weekend was being interviewed by one of the networks, and he said, I think I know more than you do.
Yeah,
exactly, because I have the intel. He's the president of the United States. He has the intel, so it should give you peace of mind when you hear him say that the nuclear facilities that we targeted are gone, obliterated, under rocks, he says. He said they are gone, and Iran will never rebuild their nuclear facilities. And he was thanking the B-2 pilots and wants apologies from other networks who were saying, we're not sure if these nuclear sites were obliterated, but it should give you peace of mind when you hear our president say that they are, that the mission was successful.
But here's the question, where do you go from here? As Mark Levin wrote last night, he was upset by this. He said, we didn't give a lifeline to Hitler. That's how bad these guys are. They've lost their Air Force. They have no ground-to-air protection. China didn't step in. Russia didn't step in. Not a single Arab country stepped in. The supreme Nazi is hiding in a bunker, much like Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler wasn't thrown a lifeline. He wasn't thrown a lifeline. He was going to be killed, so he committed suicide. By this. So that's what, even though the ceasefire is to be lauded,
comparing him to Adolf
Hitler, if they stay in power, are we postponing another conflict? For example, are we going to lift the sanctions? If we lift the sanctions, they're going to get some money. And if they get some money, are they not going to fund Hezbollah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, the Houthis? Again, foment terror sleeper cells here. What did Iran say to make you think that they have anything but hatred for us and Israel?
But isn't it up to the Iranian people to decide who their leader will be? I know that many of them are too scared to go up against the Ayatollah. But well,
I'm not saying that we should. I'm just saying that if he stays in power,
right,
is our security in jeopardy, and does Israel's remain in jeopardy?
Absolutely. He yells death to America.
I think one of the complicated things is that this is a president that continues to say he wants to be the president of peace. And Brian, we talked about this on your radio show. It's hard to get peace with a group of people that have such a radical ideology, that hate your very existence.
Just one side.
There. I mean, it's just the truth. They don't want Israel to exist. They don't want us to exist. They hate the West. And it's kind of hard to negotiate with people that believe that you're an infidel.
Yeah.
They don't have to tell you the truth.
Indoctrination.
Right.
They've had it their entire lives, been told that.
Exactly right. Here's the great hope I have. It is really one country that's a problem. Syria, they're trying to rebuild. We've released sanctions. You know that in Syria they got huge billboards. Thank you, President Trump. So why? Because they're giving him a chance. Egypt is not a problem. Bahrain is not a problem. Qatar is not a problem. UAE is not a problem. Saudi Arabia is not a problem. What is the problem? It's that country. And the question is, do you give them a lifeline? And because do they have a choice but to step down? The fact that the Ayatollah said we're going to give just a symbolic shot at the U.S. and then can we talk? Yeah, absolutely take advantage of it. But you know what's got to be included in that? You got to be including that. You cannot fund the proxies. You cannot have ballistic missiles. You certainly can't have a nuclear program. Right. And, you know, if something happens here with a sleeper cell, Iran's directly responsible. They have to be aware that we know that.
The president on his way to Air Force One, he said to the reporters, as soon as I finished talking with you, basically, it sounded like he's going to call Benjamin Netanyahu and try to work this out. Alexandria Hoff is live at the White House with the latest for us. Hey, Alex.
Hey, good to be with you. Yeah, the president, he is angry. He is mad. He's mad at both sides here, making that abundantly clear. I mean, you heard the profanity that he had used. He mused at one point that, yes, there might have been some proxies, some tagger-alongers on the Iranian side who might have not adhered to this ceasefire. there. But either way, he is upset that Israel has reacted so quickly to this when he thought that this was really their opportunity, that he would come in and broker a ceasefire, which could still happen, as we know. I mean, this could just be, as Mike Tobin was talking earlier, the kind of ping-ponging that can happen when there is a deadline on a ceasefire. But either way, President Trump is highly frustrated. He's frustrated, and something I could sense was he expressed some frustration at some of the media portrayals of the effectiveness of Saturday's Operation Midnight Hammer in debilitating Iran's nuclear capabilities. And he sees some of that as disrespectful to those B-2 pilots. But I think he is also saying here that Iran and Israel are disrespecting the actions of those American heroes who had gone out there on that 30-plus hour mission.
They don't give a fuck. They don't care about disrespecting us. What are you talking about? We don't care about disrespecting them. What do you think? This is supposed to be like fucking, like kindergarten? Like we're all supposed to be nice to each other? This is World War, brother.
Mission to help accomplish what President Trump was optimistic last night that could happen. There could be peace between countries that historically there is a chance there never could be in many ways. But, you know, as you heard the president say, they've been fighting for so long that they're just in such a tornado of emotions with something like this that they can't stop themselves from continuing to fight. So the president right now, he is heading to Amsterdam. He left the White House here about a half hour ago now. He's going to arrive in Amsterdam around 1 p.m. This will be for the first NATO summit of his presidency. I want to, though, get back a little bit into what is kind of leading up to all this, because there were some people who last week would have thought, or this weekend, thought he might not even head on this trip now. But he said that really he was optimistic last night. So you have to look at these emotions from last night and then into this trip today. It's a pretty long journey. But he thought that this was an end to the 12-day war, as he had called it. And if it was so, and if it would work out as it should, he said it would be something saluted by the world. And more has come into focus from yesterday afternoon until now in terms of Iran's retaliatory strike on the American air base in Qatar. The administration and really the rest of the world considers this to be a show and a wink away from Iran to tell its people that they hit back at the U.S. without truly making impact. I'm going to read a Truth Social now that President, when he really kind of explained what was going on here. He said, quote, Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody injured. Now, that Iran had launched at least 14 missiles toward that base, which were intercepted and destroyed by Qatar.
Which is still insane to me. Like, why would they let us know? What kind of I mean, it's just like a waste of resources. If you let us know, we're going to shoot it down. I don't know, dude. One of them just didn't hit. So not a bad exchange for the U.S., which through Operation Midnight Hammer Saturday was able to obliterate, according to the White House, Iran's nuclear capabilities. So when it comes to The Hague and President Trump being at the NATO summit, I mean, this is going to be I don't want to say tense, maybe. I don't know if it's tense or as tense as it could have been, but we have two wars still happening right now. Israel, Iran, also Russia and Ukraine. Both of them, President Trump has been trying to be a brokering asset in both. And it's the first NATO summit of his second term. So he's going to arrive there tonight. That's really going to get going tomorrow. There is some positive news here on the defense spending side, because one of President Trump's goals going to The Hague was convincing allies to increase their defense spending to 5%, to make this a pledge among allies. And what we're hearing right now, that it appears that those member countries will be doing so, all of those members aside from Spain. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, Spain, go ahead.
No, real quick, Alex, because you were there.
Yeah.
The president was clearly angry. Was it a question that was posed to the president, or was he angry more about the conflict that was happening between Israel and Iran?
Yeah, I don't think the question prompted the frustration and the anger there. This was something he was ready to express. I think whether the question was asked or not, he had posted on social media as well to Israel, do not drop those bombs. Like, this is up to you now. You are the power force in this. Hold back.
Yeah, but was Israel responding? Okay, so there's ceasefire. And then was Israel just responding after they were attacked again by Iran?
And yeah, that's how Israel is explaining it, that they're saying that Iran broke this ceasefire and that they have no choice but to respond. And President Trump—
Oh, they hit me first. He hit me back. He hit me back. I got to hit him back. Bro, come on.
Trump is saying you do.
Guys.
Right. Thanks so much, Alex. Here's the exact Truth Social post. Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do, it is a major violation. Bring your pilots home now, Donald Trump. So just get this clear. He did not like the pace of the bombing as Israel looked to finish off as many targets as possible by 4 a.m. But it was Iran that broke the ceasefire deadline. Now it's Israel that's answering back. And they said, Israel Katz, we're hitting back. So to me, this could be a skirmish, but Iran didn't clarify. Iran said we didn't do it. Well, believe me, one thing Israel's good at is picking out who's bombing them because they have so much practice. They would know for sure if this was the Houthis. They knew the direction it was coming. It seems to us from the outside, seems like a mistake on Iran's part, one that necessarily wasn't green lighted by the headquarters to me, because there's no benefit from them violating the ceasefire. They need it much more than Iran needs. Israel needs it. And the other thing is, I actually don't think I think if Israel had their choice, they'd never be fighting. It's not two people who forgot what they're fighting about. It is one country that made it their mission to destroy another country, and that country is fed up, and they'd said, we are going to take you on, and we're going to take out your surrogates first. They did that. They're taking them on, and while they were on a respirator, they got a ceasefire. So they got their oxygen mask.
So let's get the read from the ground and this is all moving very quickly. Mike Tobin joins us live from Israel with the latest. Mike, what are you learning about this? Is there any response from the Israelis based on the president's comments just here recently at the top of the hour?
Well, let's look back on the president's comments as we saw this flurry of airstrikes followed by missile strikes here in Israel. Some of those missile strikes in the lead up to the ceasefire deadly. We had somewhat of a benign missile strike that violated the ceasefire. And one thing they've resulted in is a very frustrated president of the United States.
I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that.
Israel says it was actually 2 rockets. An infuriated Defense Minister Israel Katz said the following: I've instructed the IDF to respond forcefully to Iran's violation of the ceasefire with high-intensity strikes of regime targets. So a clear indication that Israel is intending to retaliate today. Now, the destruction that you see behind me, this came right at the end as the ceasefire was supposed to take hold. A massive missile that came from Iran. If you look over my shoulder here, you can see the impact site where the base of that ladder is hooked into this apartment building. There was a family that was sheltered or that was in their bomb shelter. They took a direct hit. These bomb shelters do a good job protecting people in the blast radius, but the people cannot survive when they take a direct hit from some of these massive warheads that we have seen the Iranians pull out of their arsenal. Now, Israel did fire back at a couple of the missile launchers. One of the things a police spokesman noted here today is that Israel fires back at military targets. Iran has been firing at the civilian population.
These are civilian neighborhoods. There's no army base right around us in the immediate vicinity. There's no sensitive security site.
That's bad.
They're hitting hospitals, places of worship. Beersheba, which is an area that has a mixed community of both Muslims and Jews. These targets have no direct religion in their crosshair. The only thing in their crosshair is our civilians.
So we have 4 people who were killed at this location, 26 people wounded. The extent of their injuries really varies. Aggravating situation with the 2 missiles that came in after the ceasefire. And you have a very aggravated president of the United States trying to calm the 2 parties down. Guys, back to you.
So, Mike, there were fatalities in this missile strike, right?
From Iran.
There were fatalities in the missile strike behind me from Iran, 4 of them, 26 injuries. But keep in mind, this is a missile strike that came in really as the ceasefire was about to take hold. We often see these flurries of activities right before a ceasefire. This was an impact from that. Don't confuse this with the 2 missiles that came in about 4 hours after the ceasefire.
Okay.
Gotcha. And they know the difference between the Houthi rebels' long-range missiles and Iran. Said there's never been much confusion about that, right?
When the Houthis fire comes up the Red Sea, you can see it. They're detected in the Israeli town of Eilat, right down there in the south, and that's usually where the interception will occur. A lot of these Iranian missiles have gone into the north. There's the off chance that someone sympathetic to Hezbollah could have fired it in the north, but we would know that at this point. There would be indications to that effect.
All right, Mike.
So it's definitely been confirmed it was from Iran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Thank you, Mike.
To be fair, I think Israel's strong response had to do with for the people dying, for civilians dying, and that's why they continue to rain.
I think it's them saying there's a ceasefire, you didn't adhere to it, so we're going to get you back.
Well, the loss of life happened before the ceasefire.
Right.
This kindergarten
I
ass
think
shit,
their response is like we're going to go right up to the end of the line of this.
Right. I will say this: Steve Witkoff just canceled. So we're not going to have him on later.
He's a little busy this morning.
One of the stories was that Hamas and Israel were going to meet in Qatar. Because you forget about that. He goes, if Iran can settle down, we'll do that. So a lot of moving parts today, and enough for the mediator to have to cancel with us.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News.
We're gonna check out. I think there was a couple of other things that I had prepped for hearing about the ceasefire, because this is crazy. This is almost hilarious. Which one was it that was it this one, the Rage? Does this give us more of Trump's actual footage?
Iran and Israel have officially attacked each other.
Yeah, again, here we go. Some footage.
Breaking the ceasefire agreed last night and drawing fury from Donald Trump, who aimed his anger mostly at Israel.
I mean, it seems to be a radar installation that was attacked because we're told that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in that phone call with Donald Trump, and I'm sure some more choice words may have been used in that, told Donald Trump that he couldn't call off the attack completely. There had to be a response to the missiles, apparently. They're talking plural now in terms of missiles that came over from Iran. Basically a timescale of events and an explanation perhaps of why Donald Trump was so exasperated is that he brokered a ceasefire that was due to come into effect at 7 a.m. Local time in Israel. But at 3 a.m., Israel launched a very significant, devastating attack on Iran, particularly targeting Tehran and targeting regime infrastructure, and apparently, we're told, killing hundreds of members of the Basij, the militia that the Iranians use to such devastating effect, often against their own population. This is seen, of course, as being perhaps a move by Israel to try to destabilize the regime with a view maybe to regime change. But anyway, that devastating attack that took place at 3 a.m. or was launched at 3 a.m. local time in Israel was then followed by a strike from Iran. And that strike from Iran that took place shortly before the ceasefire was due to come into place involved some 14 ballistic missiles that were launched from Iran. And one of those actually struck an apartment block in the city of Beersheba in the south of Israel.
The Israeli president said Iran's strike on an apartment block using their heaviest missile was designed specifically to kill women, children and the elderly.
What we've seen here is outrageous and extremely painful. That missile, which is one of the heaviest missiles of the Iranians, it's called Qadr. It's way above 400 kilos. Landed here specifically to kill women, children, old age, and people's ordinary lives. Demolished kindergarten and school, demolished apartments, and unfortunately had a heavy toll of 4 innocent civilians. I want to express my heartfelt condolences to the families. This is a terrible loss, but it also shows exactly who we are facing. We are facing an evil enemy. which is decided simply to destroy and hurt and kill. And what we have done successfully in this operation is to remove the Iranian nuclear threat looming above Israel, the region, and the free world. In this respect, I commend the Israeli leadership, Prime Minister Netanyahu, the cabinet, and of course the Israeli military. I commend and thank wholeheartedly President Donald Trump and of course the US Air Force.
Israel's furious response included sending warplanes to Iran, but Donald Trump erupted when he found out.
I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. Because all I do is play both sides. I'm going now, as you know, to NATO. Some of you are going with me, and I think it's going to be successful. We'll see. I'll let you know. Yeah, I do.
Trump's like the damn principal of this school, bro. These countries are, he hit me first, he hit me, and then they're going back and forth. Trump is just like, I hate them all.
They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the f they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yeah, say it, Trump, say it.
He left to talk to Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu and posted online the Israeli attack would not go ahead, but Israeli missiles did in fact hit Iran.
Images there. This is the strike we were talking about. This is, I think, the still image to begin with that looks as though it's in kind of open ground. So it's just that image just now. We got the video. We'll bring that to you as well. It looks like it's an open ground. The video that I've seen actually looks like it's behind a building, and we'll have that for you any second as well. And as say intelligence sources suggesting it may have been a military radar installation in Iran, regardless of whether it was a site of significance or not. It's still an Israeli attack.
My man literally went on live and said these two countries have no idea what they're doing. What other president's going to say that?
On Iranian soil, will the Iranians feel obliged to respond in kind once again, or will they be more willing to sort of abide by the spirit of that ceasefire that Donald Trump brokered? The hope has to be that by the time Donald Trump and Air Force One land in the Netherlands for that NATO summit, that he will have something more concrete to say, and perhaps something more positive to say about the direction of travel with regard to the ceasefire there, as we continue to look at these live shots over Israel, the capital, Tel Aviv, and Haifa in the north, that port city, always on the lookout for any potential signs of an Iranian retaliation, but nothing that's being reported from the Israelis at this point in terms of them detecting any launches from Iranian soil towards the Israeli airspace.
Now, I'm just seeing that there have been some reports. We saw that picture just north of Tehran, a place called Babelsar is reportedly what has been struck. An unverified report suggests there have been multiple explosions there rather than just the one. But I suppose this is a big question. Is this a more limited strike from the Israelis, or was this what they were originally planning to do? I mean, judging by what we have heard reportedly came out of that phone call between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu.
That's good, Share Bear. So, for those of you just now hopping in, apparently we made a ceasefire, and as soon as the ceasefire was brokered, Israeli fired off, like 6 to 8, they unloaded, is what he said, missiles at Iran, and then Iran was like, they hit me first. Or they hit us, we gotta hit them back. And so Trump's just like, bruh. Yeah, that's the update.
This could be a much more minor strike
I don't even know what to say anymore
what Israel was originally preparing.
It's kind of getting goofy.
We can bring you the video now, Tom. You can see it's behind that building, more smoke rising there. It's just a very short video. But yes, I think you're right in terms of this being a scaled back response from Israel. I think to an extent, as much as he was willing to, Benjamin Netanyahu has listened to Donald Trump, and that might give Donald Trump, even though he said very clearly on Truth Social that no bombs will be dropped. Clearly, they have been missiles or bombs or whatever was used to target this particular area. And as I say, reports that it was a military radar. I think it is scaled back because we got very definite indications from the Israel Defense Minister, Israel Katz, who said that he had instructed the IDF to carry out a very significant attack on regime targets in Tehran, in the Iranian capital. That we don't believe has happened. So this is a response, it seems, to the demand by Donald Trump, but not going all the way as to not at least dropping something on some target.
Attempting to divert attention from the
We're about to play the wrong clip. I saw
Donald
that.
Trump said he was headed to the NATO summit, which he hoped would be calmer than his fallout with Iran and Israel.
I mean, dude, like, what can you say about this? What can you say about this? At this point, I don't even know if it's part of the U.S. Like, were we even part of this anymore? Like, are we trying to be the broker of agreements? Are we taking part in the war? Are we firing shots? Like, what the fuck is happening? I wake up every morning and I'm like so confused. Like, I don't know. There's just no gain out of anything anymore. We're trying to broker peace, but it's like
all hell was breaking loose.
Oh, hold on. We already got here. This is not what I had saved. I think I have one more video saved for the update today, and then we're gonna take a little bit of a different path. Where was the other? Yeah, this.
So the President of the United States, obviously really direct. He's disappointed that the ceasefire was breached, and it was, as far as I could tell, the ceasefire was breached by the Iranians, and with the. It
was the wrong.
Joining me now is staff writer at The New Yorker, Susan Glasser, former California Democratic Congresswoman Jane Harman, and MSNBC contributor and columnist Charlie Sykes. Susan, I'll get to these individual leaders in just a second, but if I can ask you big picture, what are the stakes of this ceasefire holding right now?
Well, that's right. I mean, I think you saw President Trump's very overheated outburst this morning, dropping the F-bomb on live TV. Why did he do that? He clearly understands a crucial summit meeting with all of the U.S.'s NATO allies in Europe. This is a moment where Trump's decisions are being tested also and questioned unusually by many within his own MAGA political coalition. So I feel like, the frayed nerves are representation of how very high the stakes are right now. So that's number one. Number two, of course, is beware the initial overheated claims. Some of what we're hearing right now from Trump's defenders is, really remarkable considering we actually don't really know yet the results of these strikes, and they could lead to, let's hope they do, lead to a better outcome, an outcome with Iran no longer meaningfully able to pursue its nuclear program, but it could also lead to Iran doubling down on its nuclear program. So I just feel like the stakes are enormous, but the results are not yet clear.
Yeah, Congresswoman, let me start with Benjamin Netanyahu. He's been a constant presence in Israeli politics since the 90s. And I think certainly when you were on the Intel Committee and Homeland Security Intel Committee, he was around. So what are you watching for from him and how he'll impact the future of the region?
Well, he's an amazing survivor. Some claim that this invasion timing of Iran was his way to avoid a no-confidence vote. And I think that may be true. He was going to face an election soon, which some thought he would lose. Now, nationalism is rising in Israel, and people are congratulating him. But this is very fragile. Susan is right, and I'm on the more pessimistic side. Negotiating is fine. President Trump, however, this morning used the F-bomb, and negotiating is not a four-letter word. In order to have this come out in a way that satisfies both sides and the U.S. so that the fighting stays stopped is going to be very tricky because objectives are different. The Iranians don't want to give up their nuclear capability. They have the know-how. I think they still have a lot of the materials. And conversely, that's Israel's bottom line demand and Trump's. So how do you get to half of that or 2/3 of that? So I'm watching carefully, but I don't think yet that the answer is clear. And I think that Bibi Netanyahu dodged a bullet, but there may be more bullets, not literally, but maybe even, I hope not, in his future. Because if he doesn't pull this off, and if allegedly he's shooting people in Gaza and all these other problems are still there and the hostages don't come home, the remaining ones who are alive, it's a huge problem.
Susan, let's talk about another unclear answer. Okay, so we know that in Iran, the Ayatollah, who is 86, has gone into hiding with his family. The regime change question is being argued. For some, it's a question of whether he's taken out by political forces or assassination. Reports are he's had a 3-man committee working on his potential replacement. What are the chances that he survives this conflict? And if he does not, that something better would be put in his place?
Well, first of all, look, when you have an 86-year-old leader and a very a very opaque regime inside Iran, the answer is that we don't know an awful lot. But remember that the outcome here is not just either the status quo or some kind of liberal democracy.
Very correct, Share Bear. I mean, it's to the point where, like, we don't even, as like U.S. doesn't even really understand, like, what we need to do in this agreement, this war, whatever you want to call it. We're just kind of like, hey, we're the biggest guys, so we have to participate. You know, we're buddies with Israel, but I mean, Israel's firing shots after our ceasefire. It doesn't really make it look like we're good buddies. You know, if we come in to broker an agreement and then it just gets fucked.
That materializes, and unfortunately the story of the last few decades in world politics is that many times the turnover in power leads to a potentially an even worse outcome. Not only chaos and instability being a possibility when a government that has essentially run around since 1979, if that were to fall, it's very possible that the people with the money and guns, to be blunt, in that society may acquire more power. In the short term, I think there are reliable reports. You look at the some of the commentary from my friend, the excellent Kareem Sajapur from the Carnegie Endowment, and he has pointed out, I think very correctly, that in the short term, the voices of the people who were urging negotiations with Donald Trump and with the West are undercut by this war that Netanyahu has launched and Trump's decision to join in on it. So in the short term, at least, it's very likely to me that the moderates may be undercut inside the Iranian government circles, and that the hardliners, at least for now, might emerge with somewhat more power. But again, you know, that's part of what makes engaging in a war so very unpredictable. We don't know right now if it's a great triumph or not.
Yeah, and Congresswoman, let me go back to something Susan said earlier, which is the final battle damage assessment is still not finished. We don't know what Iran's capabilities are. How much of the outcome of all of this do you think may ultimately be, if not decided, heavily influenced by that intelligence and how it informs all three leaders and I guess potentially impacts them politically?
Well, let's start with the fact that obliterated, which was the word that the Secretary of Defense and President Trump used, is not a military term. And for sure, everything was not obliterated. The Iranians continue to possess the know-how, and there are reports that private commercial satellites took pictures of what seemed to be allegedly some of the material taken out of Fordo 3 days ahead, and then some mud put in the entrance to Fordo. So this was telegraphed in obvious ways, and the Iranians are smart cookies, and they prepared. But in addition to that, there may be other facilities that we don't know about. There's certainly, it's not just highly enriched uranium that we care about. We also care about the machinery to make bombs. That could be somewhere else. It also could be gettable from rogue states like North Korea. North Korea is teaching Iran that if you have nukes, you survive. Let's remember, Ukraine gave up its nukes in 1994 in exchange for a promise from the Russians and others to respect its sovereignty, and look where it is. So I think we have to assume that it ain't over till it's over, and it probably ain't over in terms of Iran possessing the capability to break out a nuclear bomb.
And Charlie, of course, the third leader, but arguably the most influential in all this, President Trump. His involvement in Iran comes in direct opposition to his long-stated America First agenda and, of course, what he campaigned on.
And I was the only president in decades who didn't start a war. Instead, I got us out of wars and endless wars. I will put America first every single time, every single day. You don't want to have wars. I ended wars. I call it America first. This is the policy that built this country, and this is the policy that will save our country. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
His supporters will argue that that's exactly what he just did, was stop a war. Is America First dead? Is MAGA reimagined? How do you see all this?
Well, MAGA is Donald Trump, and I think we're seeing that playing out in real time, that in fact they are, lining up behind him. But, Donald Trump, has been railing against these endless wars for decades. What he's hoping for is this is one and done, right? You could see that with the tension and the stress this morning when he's dropping the F-bomb. But the problem with the Middle East is that none of these problems are easily solved, and the discussion has been excellent so far. We are still in a very, very, we are in early days. The outcome is unpredictable. The instability in the Middle East, I think, has been accelerated. And the question is, does Donald Trump actually understand or know what he has unleashed? I think there's a tendency sometimes to see these things in terms of news cycles. We're on day 3. Many of the players in the Middle East will look at this in terms of decades. They will take the long term, and what will happen with Iran, and how many other countries are watching this and realizing, this is the reason why we need to have nuclear weapons. This is the reason why we cannot be vulnerable anymore. So I'm looking at this in terms of the long-term nuclear proliferation, because anyone who thinks that Donald Trump has just simply been the executive producer of a 48-hour Trump show in the Middle East, I think is incredibly naive.
I think it was one of your colleagues, Susan, at The New Yorker, who recently wrote about Donald Trump and his patience. He's not been known for it. All you have to do is look back to his campaign once again, where he said he was going to solve all these problems in 24 hours, or maybe even before he took office. He's come up against the reality of how complex the world really is. But how much does patience play into this, Susan?
Yeah, I mean, Charlie is absolutely right to spotlight this as sort of a contest between the kind of, 24-hour news cycle version of producing the presidency, which is often how Donald Trump looks at it, and the actual long-term challenges that any president, Democrat or Republican, would face. I mean, we're talking about literally a generation of American presidents. All of America's Cold War presidents, from Bill Clinton on, have been absolutely obsessed with this question of Iran and its possibility to build a nuclear weapon. This is an issue that was keeping Bill Clinton up at night, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, of course, negotiated the nuclear deal that Donald Trump withdrew from. And this, I think, is a great answer to your question. Back in 2018, Donald Trump withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal, although our own intelligence estimates did not find that Iran was not in compliance with it. In fact, Donald Trump's own defense secretary and secretary of state at the time argued for the United States to stay into that nuclear deal. You could say that while Donald Trump might have impulsively decided to join in this Israeli campaign after Netanyahu launched it a couple weeks ago, that in reality, some version of this conflict was made inevitable by the decision that Donald Trump took back in 2018. And I just think that's a great example of, you know, I look at a lot of the coverage today and it's hysterical. It is literally breathless, without any context, without any history. Donald Trump already has a long history of dealing with this issue. And I think that it's his own action that in many ways that were a precursor to the inevitability of the strike that we are seeing over the last few days.
All right, guys, let's talk about that a little bit. So let's recap leading up to, you know, today. Okay, we had a problem with their nuclear sites. We thought they were going to get nuclear bombs. That's reasonable. And hearing about Ukraine, though, like how they sanctioned that treaty, and then now look at them, we're getting invaded, and we're having a fight. Bro, everyone in the world does not need a nuclear bomb if we're not going to use them. The only thing that everyone having a nuclear bomb is going to do is, you guys seen Fallout or played Fallout? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. In my opinion, dude, it's like, if we're going to go to war, don't make it about nukes. Like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on nukes, because zombie apocalypse sounds pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Active radioactivity, but we're probably not going to be the ones that survive through it. We're like the fodder, so my opinion of it drops. So, guys, we are going to do something a little different. That's all the updates that I had for today regarding politics. You're still free to debate about it and talk about it in the comments. But something I want to do, I've been watching a lot of cop videos lately. And not from cops. Some of the, like, who is it? Midwest Safety has been putting out, like, a lot of things that we're going to watch and decide who we think is in the right. Because I've seen a lot of things in these last couple days to where I think the cop is in the right. And I've seen a lot of things to where I don't think the cop has that kind of validation. So we're gonna see the other side of politics, which is our government.
Officers from the Holly Hill Police Department in Florida arrive at the scene of a devastating car crash where a vehicle ran directly into the side of a building at an extremely high rate of speed.
7 Alpha 21, the vehicle is on smoke and it's on fire. Where are they at? Where are they at?
They're inside still.
What side are they on? All right, hey. Okay. Hey, let's step back. Let's step back, all of us. Step back. Let the fire department get here. Let's step back.
He's barely breathing. Come on. Come on, buddy.
Here, let me see.
Keep breathing, buddy.
Holy shit. I just realized that's a building, bro. That's how fast that car was driving. Look at the damages.
Let me see. Let me see.
Jeez, bro.
Y'all step back. Step back. Yeah, there's one person. I have a person. I have one. But I need the fire department here.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, we gotta step back.
Officers begin speaking with a witness who happens to personally know the driver who crashed.
How do you know him?
That's my friend. We've been friends for a little while now.
Okay. What happened?
I think he just lost control and he hit the thing.
K-A-Y?
No, C-A-I-E.
What's your name?
Sierra. C-I-E-R-A.
Before Sierra is able to relay everything she saw that led up to the crash, the owner of the building the driver crashed into shows up and starts to create problems.
Hey, I'm Officer Soto. Can I speak to you real quick over here?
What for?
About the incident. I gotta get some information from you and all that.
I'm the owner of the building, buddy.
I understand you're the owner.
Okay.
That way I can get some information from you.
Yes.
And all that good stuff. Right now we're treated as a crime scene, so we're not supposed to be.
I'd say it's a crime scene. Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a driver's license with you and all that?
Well, certainly I do.
Can I see it?
No. I'll tell you my name and everything and address. right there in front of the building.
Wait, I'm confused. Why does she need his driver's license? This wasn't the driver. This is the owner of the building, right?
Matthews Val Jr. is on the front of the building.
What's your first name again?
Robley, R-O-B-L-E-Y, right on the front of the building.
How much is it worth in damages?
How much are the damages? At least $100,000. At least.
All right. For right now, I'm gonna need you to step back there.
No, for right now, I want to look
No,
how bad it is.
no, we're not gonna do that. We can't do that. I told you that it's a crime scene, and we're not doing that. We're not gonna go in there. So I need you to step back there and stay over there.
I'm going in the building, ma'am, right now. I'm going in the building. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going in the building. I'm going in the building.
Hey, can I get you over here, please?
I got to go inside.
All right, give me a second, sir. Sir, I need you to stay over here.
Come on, man.
The owner of the business, I need somewhere.
Come on, man.
I get you're the owner, but I'm doing an investigation right now, and you're impeding with it.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not impeding anything.
Oh, you do, definitely.
What am I doing?
I'm telling you that we can't go over there, and you're obviously not listening.
Hey, good morning. I'm going in the building, ma'am. I need to go in my building.
How are you, sir? Sergeant Marquez. How are you?
Good.
Just give us a few minutes. Right now we have to do some photos, and it's unsafe at this point.
No, the building ain't unsafe. It ain't falling
Sir,
down.
just give us a few minutes. That's it.
It's
That's
not
all I'm
falling
asking,
down.
okay?
Tell me what happened.
That's what we're investigating right
Okay,
now. So if you give me a few minutes. Are you parked over here?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
me.
your white car that went
That's
through?
me.
Cones are there for a reason, sir, to prevent anybody from coming
They
here.
called me and told me to come down here, so I did.
If there was cones there, you could have stopped and asked us what you, because now you entered a crime scene right now. You kind of know that. So just do me a favor, wait in your car. I'll be right back. Give us a few minutes. Appreciate it.
While the building owner soon returns to create even more issues, officers return.
Alright, wait, so far the building owner is making this way harder than it has to be. I get you're pissed, bro, but there's like a dude in the truck over there that's like dying. Can you like fuck off for a minute?
Turn to Sierra and other witnesses to figure out what exactly happened.
Okay, just from my understanding, you were following him. No other vehicle was involved.
No. I think he lost control. He skirted this way. And I think when he lost control and snapped.
Where were y'all coming from?
Here comes my job. I was at work.
He hadn't had anything on medications, anything like that? Nothing like that?
He hit the back of my truck.
Was he swerving? Was he going fast? What was going on with him?
Going fast and he hit the back of my truck.
So he hit that vehicle where Avon's at. Okay. He hit him in the rear, and then the guy ended up swerving and just hit the wall. Did anybody see it?
They started way back up the road up here, all over the place. Speed probably coming down through here probably.
He went through 2 cars. He went through that Nissan. He went through another truck.
Officers now lose sight of the uncooperative building owner.
Is he in the building? Is that him?
Where?
That's not him, is it? That building's unsafe.
No,
too.
he went inside.
Huh?
He went inside, I think. He's not listening to me. I need him to get out.
Okay, give me 1 second.
He's over there.
Look out now. Hang on now. Stand by. Just relax, guys. You guys know me.
Okay.
Y'all know
Okay,
me.
but you're obviously not listening
It's
to us.
okay. It'll be okay.
That's what we're trying to
Okay,
be nice,
just
but
relax.
This whole place is a crime scene.
Just relax. Why is
So-
this place a crime scene?
Because
we
we're conducting
have-
an active investigation.
Was there a
We have
high-speed
to
chase
keep
going
repeating
on? Is that
ourselves.
what
You're going to go in
happened?
handcuffs, okay?
Was that a high-speed chase going on?
Wait in your car.
The fire department asked me to come down here.
Okay, well,
Yeah, 'cause I need your
you need to Wait
information.
in your car or you need to leave.
He usually carries the signal 0 with him.
So do I.
I'm about to put him in handcuffs. Literally. We're giving him enough chances.
After speaking to
Alright, I do agree with the cops at this point. Dude, fuck off. Like, use your brain a little bit. Like, you're gonna get arrested and your building got destroyed in one night. Come on now. Someone did a pit maneuver in a high speed? No. So what they're saying is the truck, there was a truck parked. It was this other guy driving the truck, and the guy who hit his truck and then swerved into the building. And I'm guessing this girl was with him. There was 2 people in the car, but only he is in like a very dangerous place. Yeah, sure, I do too. That was so funny.
the witnesses, officers start putting together the key details of what happened and figure out Sierra may have more involvement in the incident than they previously thought.
Who's the driver of the other car? Sierra?
The girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because according to the witness, they were both swerving in and out of like all over the place. It looked like they were street racing, or they were like drunk or something, or so I don't know. Yeah, because he said that they were both either racing or swerving or doing something.
Yeah, he said that they were driving recklessly, both of
Like
these. Yeah, 'cause she's the one that told you that they were heading back, and she thinks how he lost control.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, but she didn't mention all the other stuff that the other guy did. Says both vehicles were swerving. One kept going in front of the other. 60 plus miles an hour, just started just north of the PD, almost hit his car, and then he sees a bunch of like dust and smoke and stuff, and that's
Yeah, that's what he told me too.
yeah.
I'm Detective Barrett. I'm with the Holly Hill Police Department's Traffic Homicide Investigation Criminal Investigation Unit. So, when I understand that you were friends with this guy. Okay, you guys were following each other. If you could, real quick.
Oh, okay. So my bad. They were following each other. She wasn't in his truck. They're friends, but they were following each other, and they were both drunk.
I'm just gonna get a quick statement from you. Okay, so what's your full name?
Sierra.
Which vehicle is yours? That white one that's up there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So why don't you go ahead and can you raise your right hand for me? You swear to affirm the information in the statement to be truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Okay. Tell me what happened tonight.
Pretty much, we were beside each other, and I remember this car being right there, and I remember him coming in between us. He was coming up kind of fast, so I slowed my car down and he went right between us. I'm pretty sure it happened so fast, so it was kind of blanking my mind a little bit, but I'm pretty sure he lost control when he kind of sideswiped the car, and it fishtailed a little bit right here. He spun out like that, and the car like jumped and smacked into the wall.
But had he been drinking or anything like that?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So you guys were coming northbound on Ridgewood here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And which lane was he in?
I was in this one, he was in this one.
So he was in the outside or the right lane?
Yeah.
And you were on the inside. Was he a little ahead of you?
Yes.
Was he driving any kind of erratic or anything like that? Was he going pretty fast or?
He was going fast, yeah.
He was going fast?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you both going fast or? Okay. How long do you think you guys were going kind of a little over the speed limit?
For a little while.
Do you know where our police department is back there, that large Coquina building at LPGA? Would you say about then, before then, or after then?
Before then.
Before then? Okay. And you were still in the left lane, he was in the right lane the whole time?
Not the whole time.
Okay. Which lanes, or how many times did you guys change lanes, say, since LPGA?
Twice.
Okay, all right. And then where were y'all heading to?
We were headed to his house.
Are you guys boyfriend, girlfriend, or just friends? Friends, okay. Is there anything else that you think could be pertinent to this investigation or anything you want to add to your statement? Okay. How fast do you think y'all were going when this happened, this part here?
Well, from my house, I was going like 60.
60, okay. Again, nothing else you want to add to your statement? Okay, and you swear this is the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Okay, perfect.
Meanwhile, the owner of the building is still being belligerent.
Is this tree line the crime scene?
This is all in here.
Oh my God.
Right here, bud.
Chat. Yo, this building owner is getting arrested. He has nothing to do with this. The only person that has nothing to do with this accident is going to be the first person in handcuffs. This is what I'm saying, bro. If you're not a part of it, you don't need to be.
Right here.
Please get out of the grass, please.
It's okay.
It's not okay. You're being a dick for no reason.
What's wrong with the grass?
I don't know where there may be skid marks or what. I don't know.
Oh,
Traffic investigator here. Please, can you just go outside of the tape line, please?
You're very close to ending up in handcuffs in the back of my patrol car.
That's fine. That's perfect. Thank you.
I'll be going for him in handcuffs.
Watch the car, please. I don't want you to get hit.
Just do me a favor, stay. You stay in this area.
After keeping an eye on the belligerent building owner, the investigation continues for the next 2 months, and an officer travels to the female driver's home to speak with her further.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm Detective Barrett. I'm with the Holly Hill Police Department. Is Sierra available?
No, she ain't.
So wait. 2 months. 2 months. They let them both leave. They're both good? Question mark.
She's not here. Is her car?
Yeah.
Is she gonna be back anytime soon, or?
Probably. Yeah. You want me to have her call?
Yeah. I'm gonna leave you my card here.
What's this in regards to?
That crash that she was involved with her friend Caden a couple of months back.
That passed away.
So yeah, if you can have.
Oh, Chad, he died. The guy in the truck died. Dang, bro.
Have her just call me when she's available. That'd be great. All right. Thank you, sir.
As Sierra's father just revealed, the driver involved in the crash, Caden Patton, passed away due to multiple blunt force injuries. He was declared dead at the scene. Police obtained search warrants for the onboard computers for each vehicle, known as EDRs, event data recorders. Those black box recorders indicated that Caden and the other female driver, Sierra, were calculated to be racing at speeds up to 79.53 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone prior to the crash. It's estimated that Caden's vehicle was moving approximately 54 miles per hour the moment he collided with the building. His post-mortem toxicology results revealed a blood alcohol concentration of 0.213, which is over 2.5 times the legal limit. It also revealed the presence of THC in Caden's system. Due to Sierra's involvement in the incident, she was charged with vehicular homicide and racing on highways. Both charges were filed with the state attorney's office for prosecutorial review. She is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
This is how quickly the court...
Chad, they charged her. They charged her for racing. Yo, that's crazy. That's sad, bro. She got charged for her friend's death because they were racing. You got to be careful, bro. 80 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. Look, dude, I'm not going to lie to you.
Father's Day on...
I like driving as much as the next person. I like a little speed. But, guys, like, you can't go felony amount over the speed limit and expect either A, not to get pulled over and arrested, B, not to crash, someone to die, and then your friend gets arrested. You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill on these roads. Have fun
June
other
16th,
ways.
2024, officers from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department in New Mexico were called to an alleged road rage incident where a gun was potentially involved. The callers apparently followed the alleged aggressors to their residence where a handful of officers were now heading.
I'm getting flagged down by a red Honda.
You guys don't know him, do you?
No, we're door dashing. We're door dashing right now. It's a dark blue Silverado.
After speaking briefly with the callers, this officer drives just a couple hundred yards down the same road to the residence in question. Another officer stays behind with the potential victims to gather more information off camera.
Come here. Right now. Come here right now. Who drives that blue truck? Where is he? Okay, where is he?
And I had a witness.
Do you want to put it? Can you? We have a female detained. The male offender's inside. There's kids inside as well.
Come here. Keep your hands where I can see them. Keep your hands where I can see them. Come here. Walk to me. Walk to me. Walk to me. Stop. Turn around. Face away from me. Face away from me. I'm not going to tell you again. Go to your knees.
What did I do?
Yep.
What did I do? What did I do?
I'll explain in a second.
Is this husband?
You're not doing a good job of following
But
direction.
what did I do? Okay, hold on, man. I don't understand
You got a husband detained. You just have kids in the house now.
I didn't do it. I don't have nothing on me. Cigarettes, my wallet. No. What did I? What's going on?
For now.
Yeah. Is there any other adults? No, those are all kids. What the hell is going on?
Let's wait a sec. Go ahead and stand up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, back up.
Where's my wife?
She's in the car right now.
What
Okay.
did we do? No weapons, no nothing, man.
That's all right. So you're being chill with me right now, bro? So we're going to be chill with you, all right?
Yeah, I don't understand. Is it because the people threw bottles at us?
They threw bottles? We'll talk
They threw it at two of our, another lady too.
We'll talk about it in a sec, all right, brother?
Yeah, but we didn't do anything to them. We came straight home.
That's your husband, right?
Yeah. Well, we're engaged.
Okay. Well, same thing, right?
I've been out of prison for 2 years. I've been working my ass off, man. I didn't do anything wrong, man. It's hot. Can you at least leave this cracked, please?
For right now, I'm going to close the door, but the AC's on.
How many kids are inside?
I have my nephew there, and I have my daughter, my son, and my other son.
Okay, we're going to go inside and just check on them real quick. I'm going to turn the air on for you. I'll come talk to you in a second, okay?
Do you want me to interview, or?
You guys want to just do a sweep of the house, make sure no other adults are inside or anything?
3 1030s are still in there. Let's clear the truck, then we'll have the 1030s stay in the house.
They say how old the kids were?
10 to 15.
All right, so they're older.
I'm just going to let them know what's going on so they're not just sitting here.
Both of them said that the other people started it and that there's somebody was throwing bottle caps, but
I'm going to Mirandize my guy.
it sounds like this isn't going to be
I agree with you. It sounds like they were throwing crap at each other.
How's it going, man? It sounds like an incident occurred down the street. Just going to talk to them for a second, okay? As long as you guys are good in here, all right? All right.
The offending vehicle is clear. There's Ford 1030s in the house. They're going to remain in there for now. I'm just going to get my car out of the road, man, then I'm going to ask you what happened, okay? Well, for right now, I'm going to keep you in the car. So give me 1 sec, okay?
Officers separated the suspect pair and questioned them individually.
Going to jail?
No.
Okay.
It's just because you're sitting in the back of a cop car.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I'm nervous. I've never been to jail.
Yeah, so...
You're scaring me.
I'm trying to figure out what happened earlier, right? I want to ask you questions about it, but I'm going to read you this first. This is just your rights. I read this to everyone I interview. I'm sure you've been read it before.
Miranda rights?
Yep.
Yeah.
Malachi, you have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to stop answering any time you talk to an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand?
Am I under arrest?
Right now, you are detained. You are not under arrest as of right now.
Now, can I tell you what happened?
Yes, feel free.
You already know. You ran my name. I did 14 years in prison. I've been out over 2 years, finished my parole, never no incident.
Yeah.
I avoid that. So for one, I'm not allowed to have any weapons or anything.
Sure.
Now, we went shopping for Father's Day because we're going to barbecue and we have our pool set up.
Right.
We're coming back and we're on bridge.
So we were driving on bridge, and you guys know how much traffic there is. And we're going up, and this car, the red one, comes up, and we're kind of like in the middle, so nobody like goes in front of us. And he literally like honks at us like crazy, and barely tries to push through. And Mal's like, "No, stop! Like stop!"
Almost over the bridge where the cones come.
Okay.
So the line ends. There was no room.
I swear, he was like this far away from our truck.
Yeah.
And he starts yelling. She's like cussing at us. I'm recording you, and I was like, "What the f are you guys doing? Like, you guys shouldn't even be getting crazy like this." And then he wants to get out with the pepper spray.
Who was in the car with you? Just
me and my husband. We just came back from Costco for our.
Yeah.
All right, let's tap in for a second, dude. Again, this goes back to the last video that we just watched together. Yo, don't be road raging. I've seen so many of these videos now where someone starts to road rage and then someone pulls a gun out and they get shot. We got this case here where they start throwing shit at each other and now there's cops involved. Don't road rage. Dude, you're pissed for like 5 seconds. Honestly, bro, if everyone just focused more on driving better and like not pissing other people off on the road, there'd be a lot less accidents.
Barbecue. The guy pulls up, gets out of his car with a pepper spray, and I walk up to the girl and I'm like, "Why are you even recording us?" And I turn around to come back and I go to grab the door handle on our door and my nail breaks.
Yeah.
Because she gets out and she starts running her mouth. I don't like confrontation. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
So I just leave it alone.
He came up and socked my hood of my truck. That's when I finally got out.
Sure.
Because up to that point, like I said, I'm on parole. But at some point, when someone's punching my truck and throwing stuff in it, I have to get out.
No, I hear you.
They didn't hit my truck, but they bumped it.
Okay.
Right at the front. So I got out and I was like, what the... You know what I mean?
Right.
They got crazy and we all exchanged words and yelled and screamed and I pushed her face or something. I don't know. I was just like, upset.
Any weapons involved?
Who?
Any weapons involved?
No.
No gun, knives, anything like that?
He's on parole.
He's on parole?
Yeah,
Okay.
Can't have guns. It's illegal. We'll go back to jail.
Okay.
He's done really
Do you know
good.
what? Right.
And then I got back in the truck. We both got out because they hit our truck.
Sure.
They didn't hit it, but like right on it, bumped it.
Right.
We got back in. The guy started throwing cans at my truck.
Okay.
The whole back of my truck, the side, is full of whatever he hit it with.
Right.
He threw like 3 cans at it. I didn't throw anything at him. I didn't hit him.
But you don't know what he initially threw at your car?
No. It was a can and a bottle of something that had Coke or
some kind of a drinking
tea
liquid.
or a drink. This other lady, she just stopped when we came home.
Okay.
Pulled up next to us right here when we were pulling in and said, "Hey, did those people, do you guys know them?" She said, "I'm trying to get their license plate."
Okay.
Because they hit my car with some can of something. She said they threw at my car. I don't know what they threw at her car too. Same.
That guy came up and started punching our car with his drinks.
Yeah. So.
And that lady was still here. She wanted to get their license.
All right, chat. Something tells me we're gonna have to hear the other side. This sounds too perfect. You know what I'm saying? It sounds too much like the other people's fault. We're gonna have to hear from the other ones.
And everything, because they hit her car too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I said, no, we don't know them. We got into it with them right there. They tried, I don't know what they were, there was no room for them to fit. We had a truck full of groceries, man.
Sure.
And and we just came home. They followed us. This is our house.
And this is the red car with the male and female?
Yes.
Okay.
And we drove straight home, and they followed us all the way here. I can actually pull it up on my doorbell camera. It'll show right here.
Okay.
Or maybe not because of the heat. Try to get a hold of the Xfinity people and see if they can pull footage from lunch on. It just don't work, man.
Gotcha.
I pulled right here in my driveway, right? I didn't pull in, I pulled in front because we have 4 kids inside.
Sure.
And I don't know what they're planning. I jumped out and threw my hands like, what?
Right.
And that's when they kept driving. They drove off. They stopped. They slowed down like where that cop car is right there in the street. My truck was right in front of our driveway.
Kind of blocking it.
Yeah, and they flew off because our youngest came out and then started coming out. And that's when I was like, well, we have kids, and I don't know what. They already threw all kinds of shit at us. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know who they are. I've never seen them. I'll just leave it at that. And we're going to go about our day because I don't know who they are and I don't know.
Do you know why they would mention that there was a gun involved?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no clue.
Okay. You want me to roll your window down a little bit? I'm going to go talk to him.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Dying.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yep. How's it going?
You got skinnier since the last time I saw you, dude. Stop.
No mention of firearms or anything like that. Said that kid had a can of pepper spray. I don't know anything about Boyle's side of what they said.
Yeah, I don't know either. Because they said that there was no gun, right?
These guys, but we haven't even talked to the victim yet. What was talking to him?
She said that there was a gun? There wasn't.
She said there wasn't.
Let us look through the truck, give us consent, and if we don't find a gun, then we can write this up and we can get out of here, and you can enjoy your father's thing. And then if they're like, no, you're not going to throw a truck, all right, well, we're going to still tow your truck. We're going to take it then. And then we're going to take it.
Just the easy questions for me to ask. Like, I totally heard everything you just said. Do you own a firearm?
I don't. You're more than welcome to look in my house. You're more than welcome. I give you permission.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm on probation. I can't.
It may not escalate to that point. The reason I'm asking is if they do decide that they do want to obtain a warrant or something, even on the truck, are we going to find a firearm in the truck?
No, you're more than welcome to search. You don't even need a warrant.
Okay.
You can search right now. You have my permission.
This is what I want to do, but it's up to you guys. There's a mention of a firearm.
You can search my house.
And it'd be the house and the blue truck.
Yeah.
You guys cool with that?
You're more than welcome to look anywhere. Okay. Like I said.
Hey. To me, it seems like there's no gun. You know what I'm saying? Like that's unless they, got rid of it and they know they're not gonna find it in the house or the truck. I would have to say that so far I believe them.
I own nothing like that.
Let me talk to these guys real quick, and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Like, what the hell do you want? And then they drive off. Then there's a lady in a gray car is what he said, stopped right after and said, I'm trying to get their license plate. Are you guys okay? That's what he told me.
That sounds like a pretty detailed...
Yeah, that's actually a really good story.
And he basically told me that he does not own a firearm. He's willing to give us all the consent for any of the vehicles he has and the residents.
Perfect.
Easy peasy then.
After pulling up to their house, the 911 callers parked just a couple hundred yards down the same street. They met with another officer who gathers their side of the story off camera.
I haven't really got to speak with this deputy, the one that's with the other people. So let me talk to him right now. So we don't know who the male is with the 1080 though. Well, you're saying it wasn't one of the guys. You're saying it wasn't the dude that was in the truck initially. It could be one of the 1030s. They're saying that road rage incident happens on bridge.
Very consistent.
This dude gets out. I think they were side by side. He hits their car with his door. This chick hops out. Little girl over there is recording. She slaps the phone out of her hand and then starts punching her in the face. They follow them to this residence. The dude comes out of the house like an older SMA with a beard, stands in front of their car like this with a gun, but we don't know where that guy's at. And all of them are like, we'll kill you, blah, blah, blah. So they start taking off and they start like hitting their car as they drive down the street.
So did they say that they ever shot them?
No shots were fired.
You follow somebody to your house, like...
Yeah, look at that.
Maybe just like battery for her.
See if there's that video though. Like, did he see and say that there is a video of it?
Yeah, he's saying that he saw the video.
This officer will review the video in question with the officer down the street later on.
He said he'd give us consent to search anything we want.
Same with her.
He seems like a canary. He was in prison for a while. He hasn't been back in 2 years.
Whoa, Adrian. Adrian says you're gonna believe a guy on prison parole. I don't think you understand like the prevalence of that. If he's out for parole on prison, I have almost every ounce to believe that he does not want to go back to prison. I've never been to prison. I can imagine if I went to prison for something and I got out, I would be on my best fucking behavior. Before you caught me, that might be where I'm lying. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get out of it. I'm not trying to go to prison. After prison, my ass staying goody two shoes as hell. So yeah, I think that people who went to prison can tell the truth. I don't know what's up with that.
He's on parole.
Is there a guy in a red t-shirt that was here when they pulled up to your guys' house?
A guy in a red t-shirt?
Old Hispanic dude with like a beard?
No.
What about the fight that happened between you and her?
It wasn't a fight. I went to grab her phone because I'm not trying to be recorded to the internet because I want to interrupt the driving.
There's a little bit of damage here, but...
Yeah, he said they threw it. It was liquid. That's probably it, though.
And I broke my nail in my door. Can I throw that on the ground?
Yeah, I don't care. Go ahead. Did you ever punch her or anything like that?
No, I didn't punch her. I pushed her.
Okay.
With the phone. I didn't punch her.
Okay.
I have a big green phone you would see.
You'll probably just get charged with battery. You probably won't go to jail today or anything like that. It'll just be a summons, and then you guys will have to go to court.
I don't want to leave my kids.
I'm not sure about him. From what I've heard is like he hit their car with your like door or something like that. Yeah.
We were trying to tell them to move out of the way. I don't think he hit his car.
I'll try to talk more about it. The only thing is like obviously you like started like physically like. I'm sorry. So
no, his is shaping up to be a little more truthful, in my opinion.
And then you're gonna follow somebody to their house, dude? What am I gonna do?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, you're right what that cop said, dude. Right what that cop said. Like, you don't follow somebody to their house. You're in my house. You're in my personal space. Especially we know in most states they have open carry. You have the right to protect your home. You don't follow somebody to their house where they have their kids. I don't care who's in the right or wrong, unless you want confrontation. So that's my problem with the people that pulled up to this house, is they, like, after the confrontation on the bridge, why go to their home?
Good. If I have my kids in the car?
I just have a couple questions for you just because of what they said. Was there ever like an older Hispanic male here with a beard, red shirt when you guys pulled up?
No.
Okay. There was a mention of a gun. They basically said that when they pulled up, because they were chasing you guys or following you guys, or whatever,
followed us home,
whatever the case is, they said that somebody else besides you two came out and pointed a gun at them. So I was trying to figure out if you know any. Okay.
Absolutely not. I'm on, like I told the other officer.
Yeah, you're on parole or whatever.
I can't have no weapons here.
Did you ever open your door and hit their car with your door or anything?
No, I did not. They hit my truck. You go look at my truck.
Okay.
It's sprayed on the side. He punched my hood over and over. That's when I got out of my truck. After he started punching my hood, and when I got out, he ran back to his car. And at some point, it's like, what are you doing? Dude, that's my truck. I don't even know who they are, but they didn't have to follow us home.
Wife already admitted to me, too. She's like, yeah, I did slap, like, the phone out of that girl's hand, stuff like that. And then they kind of, like, fought or whatever.
I don't think they fought. I don't know. I was just keeping an eye on the dude because he kept punching my truck.
All right. I'm going to try to get this sorted out and get you guys out of the handcuffs and back inside here in a few minutes, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. I think it's just literally the only charge we have here is going to be the misdemeanor battery for her.
Yeah, I don't think there's a gun.
We're so close that if there was a third male, he would have had to.
We weren't that far.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it could be included in the report. Hey, man, like, I don't know who this third male is or anything like that. We've talked to the neighbors. I don't know. We're not going to be able to identify him. Only charge I think we have is the battery from that girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
agree.
it sounds like there's shit all over it. Well, I don't know, dude, because he threw a bunch of this dude's truck too. Like, even looking at the side of it right now, there's like threw a Coke at it. Like, I mean,
no, the dude. What I have on video here is that the dude opened the door and like hit this other guy's vehicle.
You can see that on video?
Yeah, we can see it on video. Yeah.
So criminal damage. He's on probation. How much damage are you thinking here?
Let me see. I'm gonna look at the actual mark right now.
What a donkey show.
I know, dude. I just wanted to go home. What time is it?
1:40.
Well, the county just got charged an hour.
So on video, this dude like opens the door intentionally and hits their car.
Actually, 2 marks. I think he did it twice.
How much damage are we thinking?
I don't know.
More or less than $500.
$1,000. $1,000 is the difference
threshold,
between for felony and misdemeanor.
Oh no, but I'm just saying for a demo.
I don't think
it's gonna be less.
necessarily matters at this point whether it's misdemeanor or felony. He definitely committed a crime, and I think it's worth a call to his PO. Based on the totality of this thing, he should probably get violated. They're truly like shooken up over here, and she got pretty bad in the face.
Okay.
And so I think there was an element of like conspiracy there for that charge, and then also
he can charge it.
there was almost an element of conspiracy to aggravated assault as well.
If he wants to do this.
It sounds like he called this dude on the way because the guy was outside in the roadway when they got there.
Whoa.
He, like, stood and...
Is there a video of this dude standing in front of him with a gun and stuff?
There's no video of that. No, they had stopped videoing at that point.
All these charges that you're coming up with, are you taking initial then, or you wanted me to take initial?
I don't mind taking it, dude. I'm fine with it.
I think, though, unless you want to, I say we release check, summons her, because there's 4 kids in here, dude, and there's no way we're going to be able to figure. So
that's totally fine, yeah.
I'll get her identified. It'll just be like a misdemeanor battery. So you can take care of the kids. I'll get Malachi's info and call his PO. So
I think you guys are right too about the ag assault. Like, we don't have any evidence.
no, I think that it could just be included in the report.
Alrighty, well, I don't have anybody in my car.
The last time I dealt with this, someone put a gun to the mailbox.
No way.
Because they said, I figured you wouldn't check that. We'd be the one. So I just...
Every time now.
They recorded him on camera, like, opening the door and hitting their car twice.
Because he almost hit our car.
I know, but at the end of the day, like, he
I know,
can't.
that's the evidence.
So
But it's still not right for them to do what they did to our truck.
I agree. You can go back inside, go with your kids, say he is going to get arrested or anything. I'll come let you know, okay? So you're not just
Can
left
I
in
smoke a cigarette outside?
No, you're good to go. Just go back inside. Sorry, whatever you want to do.
Sorry, my seat. You can see the sweaty.
Oh.
My butt cheeks.
That's all right. It's summertime.
I'm going to drive you a little bit down the road, and then we're going to figure out where we're going to go from there, all right? We've got him down.
Am I getting arrested? Am I being arrested?
Yeah. Okay.
Am I
don't know yet. There's video footage of you, like, hitting their car with your car door, so...
But I didn't. When they were right next to me, I opened my truck door to get out, but I didn't hit their car door with it. You can look at the video closely. I know for a fact I did not.
Well,
but what happens about them hitting my truck?
Again, that's why I need to go down there. So I'm going to put you in the car. We're going to go down there. I'm going to watch the video over.
You can see on the video, I opened it, and when I stood on my running boards, you could see I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
They were right on me.
Let me go. Well, let's drive down there. I need to figure out what's going on.
I don't even understand how they can just call and say there's a weapon and we get
Well, see, so as far as the weapon goes, we're not doing anything about that because they're not saying it was either one of you two. But initially, when we got called, we were told there was a weapon involved. It's a blue Chevy Silverado, and it's parked right there. Yeah. So that's why we called you out like we did, because we didn't know if it was you.
No, I understand, but this is crazy because they're the ones that started hitting our vehicle. I don't understand.
Let me go check out their car. I'm going to watch that video. This is going to be the initial deputy right here that's going to write the report, so I'm going to talk to him as well.
I have my seatbelt. I'm right here recording them because we're stuck. We can't get out anywhere because they have us blocked in. So I'm recording them because they already hit the door 2 times.
Where do they hit the door?
You see the 2 little dots over there? Not anything crazy, but that's what it is.
He like slammed his door open and twice.
I just want to see the video that you're telling me.
The one where she hits you, right?
Hold on, sorry, I'm taking videos of the car. So I started recording right after that because I didn't know they were going to hit the car like that.
Look at you. Back. Oh, it's a racist. Yeah, it is.
You got the wrong one, don't worry. You got the wrong one. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I don't know about hitting the car door, dude.
Did you see the marks?
The 2 little tiny dents?
Yeah.
It's up to you, man. Do you think the intent's there that he's trying to hit? Because in that video, it doesn't look like he's throwing the door open, trying to hit their car with his door. He's like how you are right now, leaning out of it.
Okay.
Bro, listen to me, dude. This shit pisses me off. This cop right here is trying to get the guy to go to jail. Literally, he went and listened to the other girl, and he took their side immediately because it's the first story he heard, and now he's trying to make something to get this guy to go to jail. The dude is on parole. He knows what he can and can't do. He knows he needs to stay out of altercations, no weapons. He knows what he knows what he has to do, bro. This cop right here he pisses me off. I hate those kind of cops.
It's up to you. I don't
call his PO?
I haven't yet.
Will you?
Are you going to charge him with the criminal damage then?
We're going to see if he's going to get violated, but yeah, I'm charging him with criminal damage for sure.
Okay.
Because there's no reason for him to open his car door in the roadway.
Okay.
And then his wife gets out and beats her in the face.
I'm all for the wife's charge. Yeah. I just want to make sure you're still going to do criminal damage. Okay.
I didn't even see them at first pull up on the left side of us. I even moved to the right, and they just, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I see people get pissed off on that little area all the time.
But I know I didn't hit their car. If I was trying to, when I went to open my door to get out, I could have left my door open. No way. I didn't open my door like that. That's impossible. Because in the video, I'm standing up on my running boards, holding my door still. My intention is looking at their car with my truck to see how close they are. Like, what are you guys doing? If you think there's damage to your car, anyone is going to get out. Not a collision, but when they're inching and I can no longer see from where I'm sitting if they're touching my truck or not, then I'm going to open the door to see. They get in front of me, and then the guy stops and gets out of his car and starts throwing at us and punching my wife flew out, and then I got out. He's punching the hood of my truck and throwing stuff.
What's the word on the PO?
They already violated him.
They did? Okay.
So they're sending it, they can send it to you now.
Okay. Dude, I mean, under the circumstances, like, they're practically kids, dude. Him and his wife, like, he made the decision first to stop, open the door, get out. He made the decision to...
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are all set to go.
Okay. What's your name?
Deputy Houston?
Deputy Houston?
Yeah. My badge number is 116.
116, okay.
This guy's requesting that he shows you the damage that's on his truck.
That's fine.
Pouring sweat, too, man.
Yeah, my unit's probably the worst.
We're gonna look at the truck and I'm gonna let you know.
How long were you in prison for?
Here, the suspect shares with the officer some details about his previous time served. Notably, he mentions that he got out 9 months early due to good time and was on track to finishing his probation in just another 2 years. Being arrested for his crimes at 17 years old, the vast majority of his adult life was behind bars. While they did not specifically go over his charges on camera, we were able to obtain his criminal case file. His previous arrest included charges for 1 count of aggravated burglary, 1 count of aggravated burglary with a deadly weapon, 1 count of conspiracy kidnapping, 1 count of kidnapping with intent to cause great bodily harm, death or sexual offense, and most notably, 1 count of second-degree murder. He was found guilty of 1 count of aggravated burglary and 1 count of second-degree murder. All other charges were dismissed. He was sentenced to 24 years in prison. However, 9 years of that sentence was suspended for parole and probation as long as he followed guidelines and abides by the law. Should he break any laws, even after being out for almost 3 years, his stayed 9-year prison sentence could be re-implemented by a judge.
Not likely to cause you like...
Yeah. If he was where he was...
More dirty than anything, so it's like...
Right here is where he punched it one time, and then he punched it up here. So I am going to jail.
You're gonna be under arrest right now. You've been violated by your PO.
I'll bring you over to the car in a second. Okay. We'll bring you over.
What's your PO's number?
Hey, we're gonna talk to them.
It's in my phone.
It sounds like they got into a road rage on Bridge with some like young kids, 17-year-olds. It's just criminal damage to property. They were both participating.
Talk about some 17-year-olds, bro, didn't even know their age.
But they threw a coke at this car. There's no like long-lasting damage, but there is dents to the other car.
Those dents were prior to.
No, and you can see in the
blue paint.
Video.
No, and you can see they have like a video of them doing it. So for you, you're just gonna get a summons in a court, okay? So in the mail, there'll just be paperwork to go to a court date, okay? For the little girl who violated his probation. So we'll see where it goes from there. It's a misdemeanor charge, so
He'll be out. He'll be out tomorrow. He's been working at the job for 3 years.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let me tell you, he's the only one in the state of New Mexico, the only parolee that has successfully completed everything without any problems, dirty ways, nothing. The only one that has kept the job, got that truck, got a house. He did 15 years, and he's been doing so good. So this is just a little bump.
To arrest him, I mean, you can just like
So
what if they instigated it? Like, come on, there has to be.
So they're both. What I think is that both people are in the wrong here. They're both arguing.
Because
the only thing is, no, it doesn't matter. He's on probation now. The only thing is there is damage to their vehicle that is clear, and there's actual damage. That's why. If it was just both of them arguing with each other, whatever, I would have just told them. The only person that would have got charged was her because she slapped her phone out of her hand and punched her in the face a few times.
They're antagonizing them. You know, we're not trying to justify nothing. We know what's wrong.
I'm saying that racist stuff they were saying.
Frustrated with these people that are not going by the rules of the law. They just want to get in and.
So
you know what I mean?
I mean, out there, you guys.
It's lawless with these people. You know what I mean? It's lawless.
Can we talk to him?
That's insane, guys.
Can we talk to him?
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, it's not. They're never going to let me come take my car.
No, it's like, you've been doing too good. You know,
No, they're not going to
So I'm going to call your PO in the morning. He's going to go over there. He's going to release you. Don't worry. You're going to be out tomorrow. Don't you give up.
I'm not done.
No, you're not. Malachi,
Listen.
you're going to get out tomorrow.
You didn't do nothing.
You didn't. Okay, so but
They don't care. They don't care.
No, Malachi, they do care. That's why they're doing it.
They hit the fuck out of my car. Where did they go? They drove off. They went home, right? When they started it.
No, you're not losing. Not losing. You're not losing nothing.
Losing everything.
You're not losing nothing.
Listen, Mandy is not going to be able to keep up with the truck.
Malachi, you're gonna be home tomorrow. You'll be home no more than tomorrow. You'll be home. You're blowing it up. You're going too far.
I really don't think that they would ever make him complete time served or something like this.
He's gonna go get you out. I know you're frustrated and upset right now, and you're thinking the worst, but don't.
After his arrest, he was charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property valued less than $1,000 and 2 counts of battery. He entered a not guilty plea the same day. New Mexico court websites indicate he was released the next day. Looking at the case file that handles his probation and prior murder charge, a bench warrant was issued after another 2 days, where he was then likely released again the following day. Roughly 2 weeks later, a motion to revoke his probation was made. The following week, the order to revoke his probation was denied, and his probation was reinstated. His first probation violation remains on his record, and lists that he admitted to the act and was given a lesser sentence, the details of which are not publicly available. For the case file handling his newly acquired charges, the prosecutor failed to show up to court, causing the case to be dropped and deeming him not guilty to all charges. As for his wife, there are currently no records of her battery charge listed on court websites, meaning the court either decided to drop the case, she made a plea agreement to take the charge off her record, or the documentation has not been filed yet.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess that turned out well for him. Alright, guys. It has been well over our little update hour. I had a fun time watching some cop footage with you guys as well. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will be live a little bit later with some new content. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.